Welcome to the Keychain Podcast, where every key tells a story.
Matt.
I'm Mish.
And today we're giving you want to say hi, Mike? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm Mike.
He's Mike. And today we're giving you an inside look into the people, the partners, and the purpose behind the Matt Harnick real estate team. And today we're welcoming, go ahead, Mike. You already introduced yourself. You can say it again.
I'm Michael Wagner.
Michael Wagner with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. Can't forget the affinity.
That's right.
A very long-time strategic partner of ours, of mine. Mike and I actually met in a B&I networking meeting in 2011. We've known each other for 14 years, my friend.
Wow.
A lot of great business and good times being done together.
Good memories.
Yeah. And we're glad to have you on the podcast today so you can talk a little more about yourself and what makes Mike Wagner tick.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so excited because Mike was actually, I don't know if you know this, I think you were one of the first lenders that I actually spoke with when I started with Matt.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Yeah, I think if you were not the first, you were one of the first. I think it might have been Monica because she was in the office.
Could be.
But then I think you were right after.
Left a good impression, hopefully.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That's why we keep calling you.
I know. It's why I'm. So I always like to start off with a little bit about you outside of what you do. Because we all know you're in the mortgage and lending business.
Yep.
What is Mike outside of that?
So
Or who is Mike outside of
is husband.
Yeah.
He's a father of 4 kids, dad of 3 pets.
And their names are? I know 2 of them.
I have Lucille Ball, Grace Kelly, and Sassy.
Sassy.
I love
2
it.
pugs and a kitty. But yeah, a proud father, very involved with the kids' lives, and 2 kids in college, 2 in high school.
Wow.
Time is, actually, I take that back. My oldest just graduated college.
Crazy.
Geez, he starts his first full-time job today.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Doing what?
He's going to be an accountant for Ernst & Young.
Ernst & Young.
Wow.
So
Good luck, young man.
Yeah.
yes, good luck, Jack.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I'm very proud of him.
That's fantastic.
So we've talked about this before on the podcast with a couple other people. You have now done that transition from high school to college and all of those emotions that come with letting your kid go off to school and become the adult that they are going to be.
Yes.
How does, in the season of everyone back to school, how is that?
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's bittersweet. Like my second oldest son, he worked in Michigan all summer. So he literally left within a week of finishing his semester, came back Thursday right before school started. So I had less than, I dropped him off at the airport on Saturday morning bright and early, and we had very little time with him. So that's going to warrant a trip back to Miami to go see him.
Yeah. Oh, and you've got out of state too.
Yes.
That's a whole different animal.
Yeah, for sure.
We've talked to folks who have all had in-state kids, but I'm sure watching your kid get on a plane is much different than
It brings tears to your eyes immediately.
Yeah.
Your heart breaks, but it's, like I said, it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I've just went through it with
Yeah.
Josh. I mean, Josh, for those of you who watch the Josh podcast, I mean, he just started his sophomore year, and yeah, I mean, it's hard enough making the 2-hour and 40-minute drive and spending time with him and then driving home and knowing that if we needed to or wanted to, he can come home for the weekend. I can go there. Yeah, it's a little different when you have to get on a plane.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it just like rips a part of your heart out. I know how that is from my perspective. I can't imagine putting him on a plane.
No. But listen, it is what it is, and it's part of being a parent. And
It is. And it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, it hurts and it sometimes it really sucks. But it's a good thing. I mean, this is the independence that they're going to take with them.
They
in
learn
their
to do
adulthood.
laundry. Laundry's good.
That's a big thing.
Take care of themselves.
Did any of them turn anything pink?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. My favorite story is when I was at SHIP, there was a boy on the floor above me who came running hysterics to the girls' floor because he turned his favorite white shirt pink.
Oh, what do I do?
And he was like, what do I do? And we're like, yeah, tie-dye it. Like, I don't know what
there
to
you
tell
go.
you. I'm like, you can try and bleach it, but it's still going to have like a pale pink tone to it. So now it's your favorite pink shirt. And let me tell you, he wore that for every single date that he went on was this pale pink shirt. That was his like date night shirt. And it was the funniest thing. I'm like, why that shirt? And he's like, because it was my first mistake I made as an adult.
That's crazy.
He's like, so I wanted to remind myself. And
Good
I'm like,
life lesson.
all right, dude. And he's still one of my good friends, and we laugh about it all the time.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, I can't believe you turned
pink shirt.
your shirt pink. Like, we laughed about it. His parents came for like the first family weekend, and we were like, you'll never guess what your son did. Fun life lessons, right?
For
So
sure.
as we take those life lessons that we try to give our kids as they go off to college.
I see what you did there.
What, me?
Nicely done. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So you take these like life lessons, right, that you are sending these kids off to college. How do you transition that to when they are going to buy their first home, their second home? I'm sure there's some similarities and some emotions that might be the same.
Well, it's funny because the way I really approach every client as if they were my sibling, my kid, just someone that close to me I care so deeply about, that I want them to have the proper expectations. I want them to know exactly how much money will you need. No surprises the day before settlement. What will your payment be? Will this be affordable? So I take that approach with every client so that really, I mean, at the end of the day, I would never want someone to say that Mike Wagner guy told me all this bad information and it didn't work out. So I'm not looking at it from a sales perspective. I really look at it from more of like consulting, you know, really
100%.
let me hold your hand. Let me help you help, you know what I mean, for what you don't know.
Yep.
Right. I mean, we do the same thing. We're very much the consultative approach.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love seeing that firsthand because we've had a couple buyers in the past that were just very anxious from the time that we had our consultation with them. And we could see that this was a massive step in the next direction, right? And Matt and I would get off that call and we're like, we got to call Mike. Like, they've got to have that big brother, fatherly figure, that somebody who's going to say, you're all right. Let's find out the best thing for you, the best plan for you, the best loan option for you. That way we can make the best decisions and you're not house poor.
Yeah.
I think that's something we hear all the time when we're sitting at the settlement table is you'll hear them go, Mike, you never let us feel like we had to spend more than what we were comfortable with.
Yeah.
You always found a way to make it work with the budget that we had in our minds. And even when it comes to refinancing, because that, you know, with rates dropping, that could potentially be coming for everybody.
Yep.
They're saying, Mike's already ahead of it. Like, I'll call and say, like, hey, have you heard? And they're like, Mike's already emailed me. What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, well, apparently I'm behind the ball and Mike is one step ahead of me, which I love because then it's just, you see that we're on the same page.
There's synergy.
100%.
Yeah. And we also have to look at it from your perspective, being out there, you know, going around and showing people all these great properties. So many people come to you and say, hey, the homes I love are all $500,000 or $600,000, but they want a $2,000 monthly payment and they don't have enough money to get that payment low enough to achieve that goal. So sometimes we go like, okay, let's put the brakes on. Let's adjust the search from $500,000 to $350,000 to get you in your payment range because you don't want them to fall in love with a home that they can't afford.
100%.
Absolutely.
That they may not want to afford is maybe a better way to say it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's what you want and then there's what you can afford and what you're comfortable affording.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all that plays into it.
And being house poor is not good.
No. And I mean, it's one thing you hear people talking about those third-party sites and they're searching and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then we send them over and they're like, it's what?
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that working with the right professionals who are in this day to day, they look at the numbers, they're watching the rates, they're watching the MLS, they're making sure that that goal that we set out on that first consultation is throughout the entire process. And there's no questions, there's no, but he said, she said, whatever.
Yep.
There's never that on your end. And you've got a great team behind you that allows you to be 100% confident.
Absolutely.
And with your background, which we can touch on,
Sure.
your background makes you a little bit different than most loan officers.
True.
Yeah, tell us a little more about your background. I mean, we know that you didn't originally come to the lending profession as a lender.
Yeah.
Correct. I was a behavioral therapist out of college, worked with children and adolescents. A lot of kids had autism, just a lot of behavioral issues, and honestly, I couldn't make a living. I went back for my master's in education, and I was like, you know what? Everyone in my family, everyone I know is a teacher, and I'm like, I see the red tape that they're dealing with, and how you can't necessarily, you know, be the teacher you want to be sometimes. So I said, I got to not work in a school anymore. And my brother, actually, I'm so grateful. I have so much gratitude for him. He was in the mortgage business and with another partner at that time, and he said, hey, you want to learn the mortgage business? And I said, great. Yeah, sure. Why not? So at night, after I was on my regular job, I'd cold call people, talk to them. Didn't know what to do with anything, the information. They taught me what to do with the information. And before you knew it, I think it was a year later, I actually went full-time in the mortgage business.
Is this Metropolitan, by the way?
Yeah.
With Rob?
Yeah. And we opened an office in Old City.
Wow.
And the rest was history. And honestly, I love what I do. I just never looked at myself as a salesperson.
Yeah.
I was just like, but I love numbers and I love working with people. So really, and the why for me was, hey, can I help this person and teach them what they don't know and really let me hold their hand? And that was like the perfect fit. Yeah. So my brother taught me everything, which was wonderful. But then went on and started underwriting files myself, being an underwriter, being the person approving loans, being a guideline guru, knowing the ins and outs of each file, because reality is mortgages are partly a game in the sense that you need to know how to navigate the person who has a part-time job and a full-time job, and whether they're a temporary employee or, knowing what to do when you come up with all these crazy, unique situations. I mean, think of it this way. We've both been in this business a really long time. We've all been here. And the amount of new scenarios that you're coming up against.
Oh, my gosh.
Still, after 27 years, something new still pops up every single week that you can learn from.
Have you encountered the influencer yet?
The what's that?
The influencer, like as a career, with getting like the TikTok money and all of that. Not yet.
No, I would love kids to do that.
Yeah,
it's coming.
I should probably be on social media a lot more.
No, it's totally fine.
But but that's the reality. I mean, you learn so much being an underwriter, really, being a student of all the guidelines for every mortgage program, so that when I'm working with one of your buyers, I'm putting them in the right product that's not going to get denied.
Yeah.
And then your paycheck protection, and we close, and they loved you, they love me, but they looked at us as trusted people that they could have as part of their arsenal.
Yeah.
So whenever they have a question, just like you're saying with refinances, I'm talking with these people. Like I spoke to 2 people today. I said, honestly, rates are only about 0.25% lower than where you're at now. I said, I personally wouldn't refinance right this second if I was in their shoes based on their situation. But, I tell them the pros and cons, and then they can make a decision.
I think that's another great aspect of you as well, is because you're this educator by nature, right? When it comes to making that decision, you just want them to be 100% informed. Because in the end of the day, it's their decision. And we say that as well, like when we're looking at homes. It's your decision. Yeah. We're just here to help aid you in that.
Yeah.
But you have to make that final call. And you're the same way.
Yep,
Here
absolutely.
is everything on the table. Now go weigh your M&Ms. If you're a Friends fan, weigh your M&Ms, and we'll go from there.
I mean, look at it from your perspective as well. You both, the house sells itself.
Yeah.
But the marketing is what makes the realtor partially so important, because people work with part-time realtors all the time, and I see what they go through, and what they don't know hurts them. And 100%. I say, you got to work with someone who's knowledgeable and really knows, because you're going to put this buyer or seller in the best position possible, so that house sells for maximum amount, or you get the best negotiated deal for the buyer.
100%.
Absolutely.
It's a great quality. It's not just about sell. It's let's become.
I've said that for years. Yeah. Yes, technically speaking, our licenses are real estate salespersons.
Yeah.
But I don't walk into a house looking to sell that house, to a client. We don't look at it that way. We look at it as like, as you just said, it's like, here's what you're looking for. We'll show you the houses that work for you. The buyers make the decision. We're there to consult. We're there to go through the numbers. We look at ourselves as the quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So we do what we do. We pull in our lender partner, we pull in our title partner, our inspector, et cetera, all the different contractors, everyone that we need to do to give our buyers as much information as possible to make the best decision possible. But it's not about selling. Mm-mm. If I really wanted to sell someone a house, quote unquote, can you imagine if they don't like the house that they bought that I sold them a couple years later? Who are they going to look at? Like, God damn it. That guy, that team, they did. That salesman.
Yeah, that's not at all our goal in all of this.
Yeah. Never has been, never will be. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you too. I mean, it's
that's
about,
why we gel so well together, because we look at it from an education and consulting standpoint, and that's what people really gravitate towards. If the people who want to be sold something, they go online and they're sold something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Us, they're saying, hey, thank you so much for just being part of this. Like, thank you.
100%. Because you could go out and you could sell them the conventional and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's the loan product that you want, whatever. But if you're looking from that underwriter mindset, right? Because you're looking at everything laid out on the table, you're going, you know what, guys? I think maybe an FHA might be the better thing for you. Or have you thought about XYZ with some creative down payment over here?
I get that often.
You know what I mean?
Where someone says, I want an FHA loan because I'm a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
I said, well, did you know that a FHA loan is not a first-time home buyer program?
Right.
You can have as many, you could get an FHA loan every time you own a home. You just can't have multiple ones unless under certain circumstances. But the reality is that, someone can get a lower rate with an FHA loan. But what they don't know is that if they put down less than 10%, the mortgage insurance never goes away on the loan.
Yep.
Right.
And the appraisal process is a lot more stringent.
Yep.
And when a seller sees that, their offer is most likely not going to get accepted if they're in a competitive situation with a conventional buyer.
Yep.
So,
And if you break it down, sometimes that conventional is just a couple dollars more per month. And you're like, can you not buy that Starbucks coffee one day a week? Like that might help you out.
And you're good.
But again, that's where it comes in to have somebody on your team, on your side, who knows everything. It's like in my brain, because I'm a visual person, I see you looking at a chart and you've got like the titles and all the different things underneath of it. And you look at it on the table and you go, I think this is the one. But at the same time going, we could do this, we could do this. I mean, I've seen it when you've done pre-approvals. Like here is $575,000 with 10% down, but here you could go to $560 with XYZ down. These are two different, here's your monthly payment. It's not a lot, but it does make a difference.
For sure.
Like I've seen it happen, and it's so fun for me when I'm talking to the buyers just to check in, and I'm like, so how's it going with Mike? And they're like, oh my gosh, I've had him run like 6 pre-approvals for me because I just keep adjusting my numbers. But every time he runs it, I realize, oh, I could go 10,000 higher. Oh, I could go, I can look at this range. But he's walking me through every single process and every single scenario so that I know what's best for me and my family.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love, I know we both do this, is because when we give you, when we connect you with one of our buyers and you let us know, you let them know, they're pre-approved, we know they're good to go. Mm-hmm. There's no question. We're not concerned that there's going to be, or if there's any, if there's some doubt or if there's like some shakiness, well, then you let us know that. Yeah. I mean, and you let them know that because it's important for everyone to kind of just make sure that, again, that they're good to go, that there's not going to be any wasted time looking at homes if they're not really able to do it, et cetera. So I was trying to remember, how long is it exactly in years you've been in the
1998, so I guess it's 27 years.
Jeez.
27 years. I'm dating myself.
And what I love about that is you were in the mortgage business, obviously, pre-2000. You went through
lots and up and downs.
The crest of, the 2005 to 2007, et cetera. You went through the valley of 2008, 2012. You've ridden the crest back up again. What have you seen that has just really been, stuck in your mind as like, wow, in terms of like the things you've seen and also the things that have been like really consistent through a lot of these different markets? Like, tell us a little more, give us some history.
That's a great question. I think the biggest change over the years has been the type of loans you can get. Like whether there was something called stated income and stated asset loans. So if you had over a 720 credit score, there were investors out there who would give you a conventional loan without verifying your income or your assets. And there were no documentation products where you literally only had a credit report pulled. You didn't have to show bank statements or anything. No ratio loans. Those were basically where you still showed you had assets, but they didn't count any of your monthly debts into something called a debt to income ratio.
Okay.
So
this is before the CFPB, yes, I'm assuming.
Exactly. So I think that was the main contributor of 2008.
Mortgage meltdown. They were selling these loans to investors saying, hey, these are A plus paper that you're buying, and they really were not.
Yeah.
those option arms. I don't know if you recall them.
Sure.
That was like where your payment was really $2,000, but they said, hey, you know what? Just pay us $1,200 this year. Next year, pay us $1,300. Meanwhile, all that negative equity from that payment was going on the back of your loan.
Ooh.
And I remember the rep coming into my office at that time in Old City and saying, you should sell these. We'll pay you a lot of money. And I said, sell me on it. Tell me why I want it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do so. I said, I'm never selling one. I'm never selling one.
See, and that right there shows honesty.
Yeah.
And it shows a side of you that some people in the business at that time would have been like, okay, let me take that.
Can I make money? Sure, I'll sell it.
I'll sell it. And you're like, if you can't explain it to me, how do you expect me to explain it to others?
Yeah. No, I understood the product.
Oh, I'm sure you did. But you wanted that like...
Yeah, but I'm saying this is not a good product for 99% of the people.
Why would I sell it?
You know, there's like reverse mortgages. I personally think that there's a place for them in the market.
Yeah.
They're great for the person who's like just on Social Security and a very limited budget and can't really live month to month, especially in their elderly years. So it gives them a better quality of life during that time.
Sure.
And, so I think it's great for the right person, but I would never sell it to the person who it would not be good for.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, back to your point on the one thing. Another thing is, technology has come so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. We used to fax or overnight.
I remember that.
Our packages to these banks for them to underwrite and review. And now everything's a click of the button. I mean, even now at Guaranteed Rate Affinity, we have a power bid pre-approval letter.
Yep.
That's basically where I'm getting income documentation. I'm getting asset documentation. I'm looking at credit reports. I'm calculating all this income. My system verifies it, and I can give you a full mortgage commitment like almost immediately.
That's crazy.
Like the only thing that the underwriter will never look at your pay stubs or your bank statements. The only thing they're going to ask for is an appraisal.
Wow.
And homeowners insurance.
Right, and sometimes depending on the situation, obviously you can get an appraisal waiver too. So that might not even be a question.
Yeah, now with appraisal waivers on conventional loans, you could put down as little as 10% and get them. So now, government loans like FHA, VA, USDA loans, they all require appraisals.
Yep.
But conventional loans, often we get appraisal waivers, which are beautiful because so many people are making offers $50,000 over asking price, and there's no contingency in the agreement of sale for that. So they are aware that, hey, I may have to come up with an extra $50K out of pocket, and now if I just give you a gift and saying no appraisal waiver, I've just saved you all this money.
Yep.
A lot of money.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I like the topic of technology because we get a lot of people who, especially like if you've got buyer and seller at the table and you walk in and you're like, all right, we've got these like 10 pages that we need you to sign. And everyone's like, wait, we're going to be out of here in like under an hour? And you're like, yeah. And especially a seller who hasn't sold in, 40, 50 years.
And they remember 3 hours.
They remember 3-hour settlements and your hand cramping and like all of this. And they're like, really? This is awesome. Yeah. And it's like, it's the technology.
Flash close, baby.
Close has just like, it's changed the game.
I tell, we always tell a listing agent, especially when I'm on the buyer side, I say, listen, you got to come to the settlement on time because it's going to take me 10 minutes to do everything. You don't want to show up an hour later. We send the money a day before so that the title company has it. We're not waiting around all day.
We did do that. We did wait for a listing agent the one time, and we're texting him like, where are you? Yeah. We're literally sitting here waiting for you. Like, can you please arrive? Because our guys are getting antsy. They want the keys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a client right now who lives in Arizona. He's buying a home. He's moving for work, but he doesn't want to leave yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a remote online closing. So he's going to stay in Arizona. He's going to do it on a computer with an online notary, sign in front of the online notary, and then the seller will sign the documents and we'll fund the loan right away.
So over like FaceTime or Zoom?
It's like on a computer or your phone, whatever has a camera. And basically you log in and they ask you a couple identifying questions like, which of these 3 addresses did you live at? Which of these look like your car payment?
That's amazing.
Things like that to verify that's the person in fact. And they hold up their ID, verifies them. And you have an actual notary on the other line looking at you, going over the documents with you.
That's an amazing.
It's crazy.
Especially for guys who are out of state, right? Yeah. Who are like, they need just
anywhere in the world, actually.
See, that's awesome because a lot of times you've got those guys who are moving from state to state and they're not exactly ready to move yet. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to buy a flight or make that drive just to sit there and sign stuff. But if we can go, hey, we've got this option for you, they're like, done.
Yeah.
Like, give me the link. Let's go.
That's exactly right.
I love that.
Convenience is wonderful.
Amazing.
But same on your end. I mean, look at the technology on your side.
Oh, yeah.
Things have just...
I started off with
You
faxes.
can reach so fast.
Fax an agreement over, and by the time it's faxed back to you one generation after, you can't even read it, and then you have to fax it back for every change. Oh, God. I remember those. Trust me.
I hear stories because my family's, like, my uncle was in real estate for a while. My mom was in real estate for a little bit. And, like, I hear stories about the books and having to come in and, like, go page by page and then, calling to make the appointment. And, like, there was none of this how it is today. Yeah. And I tell my uncle about it, and he's like, that's how it really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I wish it was like that. He's like, it was a tedious process, and people they never had that positive experience, right? Because everything, it was like a one step and then a brick wall, one step and then a brick wall. But nowadays, everything is like a seamless, and a lot of our programs speak to each other too, right? So a lot of the times the stuff happens on the back end that we don't even see because you're talking with the title company's talking with the conveyancer on the other side, and there's all the programs talking to each other that all of a sudden documents just show up in my inbox and they're like, here you go, we're ready. And I'm like, sweet, thank you. Like,
you can do an open house flyer in a matter of like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it's with pictures that all populate from MLS.
Yeah.
It's just insanity.
Yeah.
But it makes your job a lot easier.
Yeah.
And you're not having to spend an hour trying to figure out how to do a Canva flyer.
Correct.
How has your process changed? I mean, obviously technology aside, just like the process itself from 1998 until now, if you were to look at it that way.
Well, fast forward to today, we offer same-day mortgage. Basically, someone applies today, they're under contract. Within 24 hours, I have a commitment. Like a full, with
commitment. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Like an underwriter's going in, it can be the same day, sometimes within an hour of me submitting the file.
Wow.
So we immediately get the file over to an underwriter. They put their stamp of approval on it. Appraisals ordered, disclosure. Sometimes we're approved before we even send disclosures.
For those that aren't aware, can you talk about the difference real quick between a pre-approval and a commitment, just so that we're clear, because we know, but pre-approval, pre-qualification. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
So pre-qualification would be someone just saying, hey, listen, Mike, I make $100,000 a year. I have $20,000 in the bank, and my credit score is this. Whereas a pre-approval is full verified with us, at least. We look at a credit report. We only do a soft credit check, so it doesn't hurt anyone's credit. So if someone says, listen, I don't want you to pull credit because I don't want it to hurt my credit, great. It's not going to hurt your credit. No one will even know that your credit was pulled.
Yeah.
But we're looking at income. We're looking at assets. For example, let's say someone says, I have $20,000, but it's all in crypto. So,
and we're seeing that a lot.
We're seeing that a lot now. Yeah.
And often, if it's held in like a wallet somewhere, we can't verify whose money it actually is.
So how does that work? And speaking of which, we are actually having a settlement tomorrow. Yep. The buyer is buying the entire house, high $400,000 range, completely in crypto. Well, sorry, the crypto was transferred to his bank so he could pay cash effectively, but it came from crypto. Yeah. So how do you verify? Just an aside, real quick.
So on most loan programs, they would just require that, for example, if let's say the Robinhood account or Coinbase account, you can actually get statements from them.
Sure.
So we'd be able to see they hold all these different coins, let's call it, or tokens, and then they just put it in their bank. They sell them it's like a stock, and then they put the money in their regular local bank, and we can show the paper trail, and that's as good as gold.
Okay.
This is like a whole different language. Like crypto is its own thing.
But one of these great tricks is that let's say someone just has a retirement account. It's got $300,000 in it, and they need $100,000 for closing. We have something called the 120% rule. And that basically means that if we can show that they have 120% of the money they need, so in this example, they need $100,000 for their down payment and closing costs. If we could show they have $120,000, we don't have to verify anything else. We don't have to verify transfers out of retirement accounts. It makes the process so much easier. I don't have to show liquidation of funds. So it just makes the whole process so different. And we've really just embraced technology,
sure,
at least at our company. Not every bank's going to be like that. Yeah. There's a lot of banks that don't do appraisal waivers. There are banks that say, no, we want to see a full paper trail. There's banks you find online, they want to re-verify your assets the day of closing.
Yep.
You're like, oh my God, I did not expect this was going to happen, and things are going to take 6 hours.
6 hours,
but,
yeah.
But
So that's the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval, and then the commitment is obviously.
So the commitment is basically just the underwriter putting their eyes on the file, putting their stamp of approval and saying, yes, I have re-verified this information. But like I said with our power bid, they're not going to even look at the income or the assets that our system has already cleared.
Sure.
Because we have AI in the background, and we've wrote this.
I was going to ask how AI has impacted the business.
We have something called Smart Underwrite, and every week there's an update to it. Every single week, like someone with variable income. Let's say you have, someone gets paid hourly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they work 40 hours one week, 27 the next, 52 the next. A mechanic.
Yeah.
A mechanic can be a great
Sure.
example for that.
Yeah.
Also, like a mechanic, it may take, if they're given a job that takes 4 hours, but they finish it in 2, they may get paid for that 4 hours.
Sure.
So there's all these different ways people get paid. And our system is smart enough to be able to say, you know what, Mike's calculation on this is accurate. So the underwriter, like I said, it's already a cleared condition. If I brought my laptop in and I showed you, someone uploaded their documents in my system, you're going to be like, this can't be true. And I'm like, no, it really is. It's real.
Yeah.
It's legit.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's crazy. So really,
Who would have thought 27 years ago we'd be using AI?
No, I know.
Wow.
I know.
It's so funny you brought up AI because it was one of the topics of our sales meeting. They were talking about, okay, what kind of AI do you use? And of course, everyone's like, we use ChatGPT for our housing descriptions. And
It's so old school at this point.
I'm like, yes, that's great. Like ChatGPT it's a great tool, but then you've also got Perplexity, you've got Claude. We were just introduced to HeyGen, which does like video avatars.
Really?
Like there's a whole slew of it, and I cannot wait to go to my conference in October because we're having a day dedicated to AI and how it's going to make the change on the real estate side. But it's interesting to hear it kind of filter in to the lending side because everyone goes, AI is going to take over everything.
Yeah.
And it's not taking over.
No.
Like, don't think that a robot is going to come in and like do what you do. It's enhancing what you do.
Correct. It's a way to assist.
Correct.
Yeah, a couple months ago, they brought out the top salespeople to Chicago, and they showed us like all this new stuff that they're rolling
Congratulations,
I
top
know,
salesperson.
Congrats.
Wonderful. There's a lot of good people out there. And the guy who's running AI for our company was there, and he was rolling out like beta testing with us. And we were all these guys are in the room, guys and girls are in the room, and he's like, throw me a scenario. He goes, I want to do a cash out refinance in Texas on a condo-tel, like all these weird types of scenarios. And the system would actually look at all of our products and say, this investor can do it.
Oh.
So like all these, they're called non-QM loans or jumbo mortgages, things that aren't regular Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac conventional or FHA loans. And it was tremendous. We were like, okay, cash out, second home, 4-unit property, like whatever the situation was. And it would know the investor and would say, this is the investor. And then we could click on it. It would show us the guidelines. And like,
that's awesome.
It was just tremendous.
And that's such a value add for you too, because you could literally be on the phone with somebody and go, all right, give me 1 second, let me type this scenario in. And then you can go, okay, XYZ can handle this for you. Let me double check those guidelines and make sure this works, and I'll get right back to you.
Right.
And we were talking about it right before we got on. We were talking offline about the quickness in which you return phone calls and emails. So as soon as you're hanging up, within 10 minutes, you're probably calling them right back. Hey, I got your answer.
Yep.
And we've had that happen where we'll call and we'll get a text message right away.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll call you right back. Mm-hmm. And no joke, we're not hearing from him later in that day. We're hearing from him within 5 minutes of him ending that phone call.
Yep.
Same with emails. I'll email them and say, hey, the title company's asking for this. I sent them this. They're not accepting it. Does this work instead? And immediately Mike's like, why are they asking for that? Like, that makes no sense. But yeah, here's what you needed to say. Okay, great, thanks.
Yep.
Like, it's just the team effort to make it work. Or, hey, why are they saying that we can't have this in the agreement of sale? And Mike breaks it down so easy for me. I'm like, but I don't understand. It says, like, it's not included. And Mike will go, yeah, but because of this and the guideline here, this has to be pulled off into a separate document. That way underwriting can say it's okay. And I'm like, Okay, thank you. But again, it's that breaking it down to where it's understandable for the person who doesn't see that every day.
Right.
Like I'm not in that system. I just see, well, the agreement of sale says that it's not included, but the way that they look at it, it's still technically on as included.
We got to play within the rules and the guidelines.
And if that's how easy it's made for us, I mean, it's just as easy for our clients who are not in the lending world, who are not in the real estate world. You know, they're the people who are going to be paying that bill every month and shelling out that money at settlement. So we want to make sure they understand it, obviously.
For sure.
What advice would you have for those who are looking to get into the market as it sits right now?
Yeah.
Listen, the real estate market's always good timing to get into the market. I mean, I think what we're going to tend to see is that anyone who's sitting on the sidelines and has been sitting on the sidelines continues to see home prices go up, continues to see values go up. And as rates go down, whether it's fast or if it's just a gentle, slope down, it's going to become more competitive. There's been a lot of people who have had two kids since they last bought a home, and they have a 3% mortgage rate, and they've outgrown their home years ago.
Yeah.
And they need something bigger, but they just didn't want to part with their 3% rate. And now they're saying, hey, you know what? At 5.5, I'm willing to go.
Yeah.
So
But they're going to be competing with so many more buyers that are waiting for the exact same thing, the rates to come down.
Yeah. I mean, look back at COVID. COVID is a great example.
Yeah.
During COVID, there were so many home buyers that never even went into the property and still bought it. But at that time, they were saying, I'm overpaying for this property. I'm overpaying because it was so competitive.
Yeah.
They were overpaying by $40, $50, $60, $100,000. And now they look back.
And their equity has
they've made 40% or more on their homes in the past 5 years.
Because they
look back and say, oh my God, look at the wealth I've generated.
Thank goodness I didn't wait.
Yes.
We don't want all of you to say that, we want you to be able to say, thank goodness I didn't wait. We don't want you to wait.
Yeah, we have this great flyer that we say the person who rents, we show how much they've been paying over the past few years as opposed to the person who's a homeowner.
Yeah.
And it's like 100 times difference in wealth.
Oh, yeah.
Creation.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's scary.
I have several friends who are still in that rental world, and they're like, I feel comfortable. Like, I don't have to worry about maintenance. I don't have to worry about all of that stuff. And I'm like, yes, but you are literally paying someone else's mortgage.
Yes.
Like you're literally building someone else's equity. Like, wouldn't you want to do that yourself?
Yeah.
And the items that would go wrong, get a home warranty for the big stuff. Like, that's pennies in comparison to paying a rent month over month.
I mean, how many people have you helped in the past probably year or two who did buy a home during COVID and says, you know what, now I've had $200,000 of equity. Let's go buy that forever home now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do this if you didn't help them buy the first home.
Yeah.
Right. And the rates are temporary. The rates are going to come down at some point. Figure it out now before you're competing with double the amount of buyers once the rates come down. Get it in it, enjoy it. And when the rates come down, you call Mike to refinance yourself. I mean, it's just
don't even call Mike.
I'll
Mike will call you.
That's true. Actually, that's a very valid point.
True.
Mike does keep an eye on those rates. We know that we've gotten those emails. We're like, hey, rates have come down. It's time to look at refinancing.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? We offer a free float down on almost all of our products.
Yeah.
That means if the rates, if someone locks in a rate and rates go down by 0.25% or more, we'll just float their rate down to a lower rate.
Yeah.
So yesterday I was talking with a gentleman and he locked into a VA loan around 6%. And I said, well, I could bring you down to 5.75, no additional money out of your pocket. And it was like a $700,000 loan. And he's like, this is just a game changer in how much you're going to save me. There's no, we're just looking out for his best interest. I don't make any more money or less money regardless of what rate someone buys.
You're taking care of the client.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So do you. That's why we gel so well.
Thanks, Mike.
100%.
I think it's time for the rapid fire round.
Yeah, let's get to it. Are you ready?
Mr. Wagner?
I don't know.
Get your thinking cap on.
Go for it. Let's see.
I think this actually might be missing some, so I'll see if I can remember. It is missing some. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Both.
Yeah?
Yeah, I stay up late and get up early.
You're crazy.
I know.
Okay. We've established that. All right. Favorite local restaurant?
That's a good question. Local.
Local's good. It doesn't have to be local. If there's
Local-ish. 5-county radius.
Oh, geez. Let's circle back to that. I'm not sure.
We can circle back to that one. Dream vacation.
Dream vacation. I'll go back to Italy.
Yeah.
Love it. Like, there's no feeling like when you're in Italy, you're just surrounded by fake. It just looks fake.
Yeah.
The food is so ridiculous.
Food is definitely not fake.
No, it's so real, but it's so fresh. You could eat as much as you want. You could drink 3 bottles of wine and feel fine the next day.
Yeah.
So that's probably that. Or
Dog or cat?
Castaway Key.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
dog or cat. I'm born a cat person, but now I'm a dog person and a cat person.
Converted. I mean, you have both.
We've
That's
got
fair
both.
enough.
Yeah, so that's fair.
True.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Awesome. Podcast or playlist?
Podcast or what?
Playlist.
Oh, podcast.
Yeah. All right. Circling back to your favorite local restaurant.
I don't really know.
Becky, what is Mike's
seriously.
favorite restaurant?
Yeah, right?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Boathouse for wings.
Oh, nice. Conchi.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
I don't know. That's nice and easy. But otherwise, Baco's really good too.
Oh, now you're talking my neighborhood. That's literally around the corner from me.
stuff.
Their flatbreads. Oh my God, if you've never been, so good.
Yeah. So I'm pretty easy when it comes to food. Although I am very picky. I'm very,
As long as you go somewhere that's got something that you like, you're not that picky.
that's true.
I'm
Very
the same
true.
way.
But
My
I'm like a
husband makes
pizza
fun of
and
me.
wings kind of guy.
Yeah.
French fries.
Yeah.
How about a hidden talent?
Hidden talent. I play guitar.
What?
I don't play guitar a lot anymore, but I'm a really good concert goer. I
Yes.
go all
Yes,
over the
yes.
country.
You have a
Concerts.
certain band that you like to follow around.
Just a jam band by the name of Fish
Yep.
that I love and used to be the Grateful Dead.
Which the first time you told me, I was like, seriously? Like it didn't compute in my brain. And then after getting to talking to you, I'm like, nope, that's accurate.
Yeah, it's
Nope,
great.
It fits. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So we already kind of touched on this a little bit, but one piece of advice for those either existing clients, future clients, what's one thing that you would like them to know?
I think that we're always here for you. Shoot us a text, give us a call. If there's ever, there's never a stupid question. And, I think as a team, we just say, just ask.
Yep.
And we will deliver. And if we don't know the answer, we'll get the answer for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, I definitely
Honesty
couldn't
is
say
the
that.
best answer.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Awesome.
course.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for being on.
I'm so nervous.
You did
Everybody
great.
says that. And we're like, you're just talking with some friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Fine.
That's right.
True.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you to Mr. Mike Wagner from Guaranteed Affinity, and we appreciate you checking in the latest episode of The Keychain. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.